One of the big casualties of this past generation has been the lack of same couch co-op experiences, so that's why we're always willing to give any new ones that turn up a little try, and Sacred 3 is one such, a sort of very fast and frantic dungeon crawling adventure that lets you and up to 3 other friends jump into this rather colourful and rather crazy world.
Yeah, Sacred 3 is in some ways a bit of a Diablo light in a sense. It's a little bit dumber, perhaps a little bit faster, and because of that, it does fill a nice gap after you finish playing Diablo. It's definitely not quite the same level, but it's actually a pretty decent looking game. That varies. I'll take that back. It varies. In some places it looks pretty drab, in others it looks actually pretty stunning, and that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just with me for Diablo, PC player and Xbox 360 player, it's so gothic looking, and obviously that's part of its appeal to an extent, but it is so just dark and everything's ancient, and it does get a bit tiresome to play, even in some of the sort of deserty levels, which are a bit more open and bright. They're still really drab. And the sort of something I really liked about Sacred was just the amount of colour and sort of, just it seems to be having more fun with the world than
Definitely,
Diablo.
Yeah, I think that sort of grated at times because it has a very strange tone to it. Something you'll notice when you play this game. There seems to be a constant conversation going on around you. People, characters always talking to you. These spirits jump in that you can use to augment your weapons. They're having conversations with you.
It's just weird.
And they've got such a weird kind of take on it. It's a very kind of postmodern take, as almost as if they know they're in a video game. It's sort of a weird kind of very knowing kind of tone. If you can kind of get into that, then you'll probably be fine. But yeah, that might grate some people a little bit.
Yeah, because it's almost like they've maybe just maybe fans of Deadpool at the studio.
Sure.
And they've sort of been like, oh, this would be fun, but because of the medieval setting, and it doesn't really make this actual stride through, through the third wall or whatever, and it feels a bit strange and at odds with itself at times. But I mean, that's such a small criticism for a game that, for the most part, is very fun and very entertaining, especially with friends.
Yeah, the co-op is absolutely what this game should always be about. If you're going to play it, make sure you've got people to play it with, even if they're just sitting next to you on the couch and you've got a second controller. The combat's very simple, it's very button mashy, there's not a great deal of variety to it. Even between the classes, you're not going to see a huge amount of difference, but the insanity of what happens on the screen is always really cool. It's also good to see that enemies level up depending on how many players you've got, so you'll get a different experience with 4 players than you might do playing on your own.
Yeah, which is always great because, if you're going to have other people in the experience, you want the challenge to scale, otherwise it's going to get boring too quickly. And thankfully, Sacred tends to hold up over the entire time that you play it. It's not the most intelligent hack and slash on the market, but it's there. If you're looking for something else to play, if you're looking for something else to play with friends, there's really nothing else out that's new that will compare to Sacred right now, which is why X1 has scored it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's chaotic, it's fun, it's simple, but definitely worth a try.